Hi all and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all doing okay. Right, first of all, again, I'll apologise for my lack of uploads. I really am going to try my hardest to be a little bit more consistent in getting some videos out there. If it's not going to be a daily thing, which I want it to be, it'll probably be an every other day thing for the time being. So hopefully you'll stick with me for the time being, but thank you so much indeed for continuing to be here. I'm going to start off with a few things tonight, and first of all I'm going to cover what George Russell has predicted for this weekend. So George Russell has given his prediction about his Mexico Grand Prix chances after revealing Mercedes decided to give Lewis Hamilton the new upgrades. Hamilton will run with their tweaked car setup in Mexico, and as a result of that, Russell isn't expecting much in the way of performance. Russell said, "Lewis will be on the new upgrades, I'll be on the old package because we don't have two sets of it, and we'll see how we get on. I'm not expecting, unfortunately, to set the world on fire this weekend." And it's lucky he didn't run those new upgrades after his issues in FP2. I'm not going to say what because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, so you'll see what I mean when you get to watch it. Then I want to move on to Sergio Perez because he's admitted that his recent form has been terrible, with pressure mounting from Marco over his future at Red Bull. Speaking ahead of his home race this weekend, Perez said, "I know I've had a terrible season, a very difficult one. It started really well, but it's been really, really difficult. For me, if I get a strong result, it can definitely change my season massively in terms of personal feelings, so I'm really up for it." And of course, that's all come on the back end of Helmut Marko saying basically he's got to up his game, or as with Daniel Ricciardo, he's out the door. But again there, Sergio Perez, he starts off the year well, and then he sort of falls off through the middle of the season, and towards the end maybe starts getting a few better results, but I don't know what causes that, I really don't. But it'll be interesting to see how he does over these 5 remaining races. Then I want to move on to Oscar Piastri because this is all linked into Perez, but Oscar Piastri has insisted that he remains happy at McLaren despite speculation linking him with a move to Red Bull. Piastri is rumoured to be an option to replace Sergio Perez if he is relieved of his duties at some point. He has also been mentioned as a possible replacement for Verstappen. Piastri said, "I'm under contract for the next 2 years after this, and I'm certainly not looking to go anywhere else." And I don't know where these rumours come from because I just can't see him wandering off the Red Bull that quickly. And if I'm honest, I think this is probably Helmut Marko's attempt at more mind games for McLaren. The same thing with Christian Horner talking about George going to Red Bull potentially in the future. I just think this is mind games, I really do. And sticking with McLaren, I want to move on to Lando Norris because he believes he is yet to reach the level needed to beat Max Verstappen over the course of a whole season. Norris said, "I think Max is the best in the world in this style of defence and attacking, so I'm going up against the best in the world. Therefore, I have got to be at his level. At the minute, I'd say I'm not quite at the level I need to be at. It's a shame to say, but it's probably the truth. At the same time, it's an experience for me to learn and progress and try and do better." But I think he's writing his chances off a little bit too soon. There's still 5 races left, and there's been a few issues for Max Verstappen and Red Bull in particular during FP2. So I wouldn't write it off just yet because I really do want to see a championship fight. I really do. It's something I'm desperate to see in Formula 1 at the moment. And as I said, sticking with McLaren, they have exercised their right of review after Lando Norris was handed a 5-second penalty at the United States Grand Prix. McLaren are hoping to get it overturned, which would see Norris reinstated to 3rd place. In order for the review to succeed, McLaren will need to present new evidence that was not available at the time the penalty was awarded. A hearing is expected to take place before the end of today. It will be in 2 parts, but the second part will only be required if the stewards agree that there are grounds for the original decision to be reassessed. Now, apparently there are a few more camera angles now available than what there were before. I'm not sure they're going to be successful, if I'm honest. I think it'll probably get thrown out after the first hearing. But again, we're due the news of that anytime soon. So all we can do is to see what happens, can't we? And then finally, Anthony Davidson believes that Lando Norris would be leading the F1 Drivers' Championship if he had started 2024 with the car he's had in the last few races. And I have to agree with him. I mean, it sounds a bit strange to say that because Lando's sort of come out of nowhere and he is in contention to fight Max for the World Drivers' Championship, which nobody saw coming. And it does make you wonder if he had this car to start with, and obviously having such a good teammate as Piastri, I think either one of those could have been Drivers' Champion this year. I really do. It's fascinating stuff. But of course, anything I covered tonight, please feel free to give me your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks again for being here with me. I really and truly do appreciate it. And of course, if you do like what I do, please consider pressing the like button, also press the subscribe button, and also press the notification bell so you get those all important future warnings of my uploads. And as always, until the next time, take care.